Lady Morange tells me that a delegation from the Vespe family just landed on the island.
From the look on your face, I take it their arrival is not good news. Are they that bad?
That family has a long-standing grudge against the d'Orsay family. And considering their cutthroat reputation, we would do well to hasten to join Lady Morange.
Ah, Sir de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the Vespe family in Tir Fredi is surprising, and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know this place, but I thought that only the Donaigada from the Baragnodas clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the de Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sir de Courcillon will be able to tell you more. But know that they have envied the d'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Perenne as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurelia de Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sir de Courcillon. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Perenne?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation, and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Serene. That's what finally pushed it into the background, amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency. Be careful. Don't underestimate the trickery of the de Vespes.
Trimmeterendam! Faurende Dara Trimmeterendam! You've no magic! Think of
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
visitors. Legate de Sade, I presume.
Indeed. Delighted to meet you, Your Grace.
The accounts I've been given of you and your companions don't do you justice. Truly, it is a pleasure. We're going to become wonderful friends, you and I'm sure of it. Say, aren't we going to be cousins soon?
Pardon me, Your Grace, but I'm not sure I follow. And if I may ask, what is it precisely that brings you to this remote island?
Haven't you heard? Well, it seems the messengers on this island are not particularly reliable. No matter. Your uncle and my father have decided that your cousin, Prince Constantine, and I are to be married. So, here I am.
This is incredible news.
I know you must be surprised. However, this alliance will be a wonderful way to put an end to the enmity between us, don't you think?
Indeed. But I should warn you that the current situation is complicated. My cousin seems to have got it into his head that he'll conquer the island and...
Oh? What audacity! But I'm sure our allies won't look very favorably on this situation. Still, I have to admit that such ambition only piques my interest in my new fiancé. I don't think it jeopardizes our arrangements. Not for the moment, at least. Then, you and I will be cousins, of course. Furthermore, I was hoping I might be able to count on your assistance.
Of course, Your Grace. What can I do for you?
You see, I didn't want to impose myself on New Serene until all the necessary arrangements had been made for my arrival. I had the Naughts drop us off in a quiet place outside the city. Too far outside the city, clearly. There were these savages and bandits skulking around the woods and threatening us. They even robbed me. Worst of all, they took the chest in which I was keeping the marriage contract.
Savages? The only savages I know are the ones who invaded our home.
Oh, please forgive me. I meant no disrespect. Natives, then, is it? In any case, it's absolutely mortifying to have to ask you this, but you know the island and its inhabitants better than I do. Could you perhaps retrieve the chest for me? I would be eternally grateful, cousin.
Can you tell me more about the theft?
Of course. We were unloading our things from those horrid little boats that the Naughts get about in when it was taken. I was busy setting up camp at the time, so I didn't see who it was. My men didn't see much either, because it was dark. But certain natives from the region stopped by in the morning. They were aggressive and insisted that we leave. I'm sure they were behind the robbery, unless it was just bandits. There were a couple that my men chased away, but that's all I know.
Thank you. We'll get about finding it.
Is there anything else?
I won't deny that I'm surprised to hear about your engagement to my cousin, despite the excellent reason you put forth.
Surely you didn't think your cousin would stay single forever. Know that although the decision was not my own, I'm very pleased about it. I got the impression your uncle thought a wedding might calm your cousin a little. And now that he's in the role of governor, he needs a wife of his standing. My father saw an opportunity to get me away from Peren, where I was in great danger, and found me a worthy husband in the process. But again, it's clear that their main intention was to put an end to years of conflict. Is there anything else?
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was raised like any good princess, educated in both arts and arms. But, as I had several older brothers, I was never really given a political role. I'm still my father's favorite, though. You may know that I've already been married once, but my husband was murdered in cold blood as part of a plot at court.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
You're too kind. After he died, my father decided it was best to send me away from Peren. He knew your cousin was unmarried and was tired of the futile disputes between our families. So he contacted Prince d'Orsay, and the rest is history. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
I simply cannot believe that Prince d'Orsay would marry his son to that princess. His father may not much like Constantine, but not to the point he would consent to him marrying a family's worst enemy.
I can't believe it either. There is too much rancor between our families.
Could the contract she spoke of be forged? Is it even possible? I'm not familiar with the practice.
A document can be forged, especially by them. This much is clear. If we find it, it'll need close scrutiny. If I've understood correctly, the chest was here when it was stolen. Ah, there are footprints which lead away from the camp. There are other footprints here. They're quite deep, as if the person who made them were carrying a heavy load. We're on the right path. The undergrowth has been crushed. Several people pass through here. Footprints seem less hurried. The thieves must have felt safer here. We must be getting close.
don't see many around here. But I'm convinced they don't eat their prey where they catch it. They would normally take it back to their lair.
Maybe they were about to do just that when we got here. Let's look around. We'll soon find out. And let's not forget Aurelia's chest. This campfire is strange. The ashes and embers are laid out as they should be, but the ground beneath them is untouched. This campfire has not been used. It seems as though it was just laid out as a prop. The poor souls didn't enjoy their loot very long. It looks as though they were attacked as soon as they settled down here. I'm troubled by this fake campfire. It casts a strange light upon this whole affair. We'd best go back to the camp and return the chest. The de Vespe coat of arms. This must be the chest Aurelia asked us to find.
I say we open it. Let's see if the contract she spoke of is genuine.
I can't see a lock, and we'd be hard-pressed to explain why we broke it. We'd better bring it back untouched.
Halt! Look, a group of armed men. They seem to be waiting for us. We should watch them for a while before moving on.
It seems they're Aurelia de Vespe's swordsmen. I'm afraid it is now beyond doubt. These men were sent to ambush us. Aurelia sent us to recover that chest solely in order to get rid of us.
If it were up to me, I'd give those assassins a taste of our steel. But if you'd rather play it diplomatically, it shouldn't be difficult to avoid them.
Nimnater. That horrible woman sent us to recover her chest in order to get rid of us. She hoped these killers would be the end of us. She deserves Enon Milfrichteman's wrath. May he engulf her in lava. What do you intend to do?
She'll have to answer for this. But, given the power of her family, we must remain polite.
You? I didn't think I'd see you again. So soon.
Is that because you'd hoped we'd be clawed to death by those beasts, or because you thought your assassins would get the better of us?
Come now, who do you take me for? I was just putting your courage to the test, that's all. A princess's whim. I kindly suggest you forget all about this little incident. You see, my dear, we de Vespes have a habit of knowing as much about our enemies as our friends. I'm afraid my father's men have obtained some rather sensitive information, which, well, if the other governors were to find out, it could very well jeopardize your position, along with that of the D'Orsay. If word were to get out about your origin, for example...
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, what a horrid word! Come now, I would never do such a thing. Let's just say that I'm ensuring your loyalty. In fact, some of my men are already at the courts of Hikmet and San Mateus, and ready to act if you try anything. But I'm sure it won't come to that. We'll soon be part of the same family, after all.
Here is your chest. This is the one you sent me to fetch.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you for your help. You have shown yourself to be as reliable as they say. Long may it continue to be the case. Well, now that I've recovered my precious documents, you'll be able to deliver the wedding contract to your cousin in New Serene. I await the preparations for my arrival and accommodation. Then there'll be plenty of time to prepare the ceremony with my husband-to-be.
The arrival of a noble lady such as yourself will require several arrangements. New Serene is a very new city.
Yes, I'm sure. Don't dither for too long now. I'm counting on you to be as quick as possible, and to convince your cousin and his men to be reasonable. You know what's at stake. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
She has us. We now have the contract, but even if it does turn out to be forged, we have no choice but to bend to her will.
Damnation. She's a thorn in our side. I wonder what she knows exactly.
Sadly, all families have their secrets. And whichever one she holds would be enough to put our family at risk.
We must get those documents back. Let's go to Hikmet and San Mateus and take the wind out of their sails. After that, we can settle our score with her.
You're right. It's the only way to put an end to this alliance and supplant the Viper.
Your Excellency, Her Highness... Her Highness, Aurelia de Vespe of the Merchant Congregation has sent me to convey her regards. She would like to assure you of her deepest respect and her unwavering support as an ally with any troubles you may encounter. She also wishes to forewarn you that the person who until now presented himself as the congregation's legate may soon lose his position. Indeed, he is believed to have lied about his lineage, and doubt has now been cast upon his titles of nobility. It is also rumored that he is engaged in questionable dealings involving the guilds and the natives. We sincerely hope that, until this situation has been clarified, you will treat him with the utmost suspicion. Naturally, if these allegations prove to be true, a new legate will be appointed by Her Highness immediately.
Madam, I thank you for your kind words, but I do not know you. You come on behalf of someone I do not know either, and who, to my knowledge, has no political authority. Yet you present yourself before my court making accusations against someone who has always shown himself to be respectable, and who has come to our aid numerous times. I must ask you to leave, madam. You are not welcome here. I've rarely been faced with such a deceitful, insolent person. I'm sorry you had to hear such horrendous things. What's happening in the congregation that this joke of an ambassador is challenging your position like this?
As you may be aware, Your Excellency, there's long-standing rivalry between the de Vespe and the d'Orsay families. Aurelia de Vespe just arrived in Teerfredi and clearly intends to impose her will here by any means.
I suggest you settle this affair swiftly. Had it been anyone other than myself, they may well have believed such lies.
That's what I intend to do, Your Excellency. But to do so, I need to know where to find this ambassador.
I think I heard that she and her entourage took up residence in a farm just out of town. You should find her, so she can explain herself.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
We were lucky that the governor didn't believe the de Vespe's lies.
It wasn't luck. You've always been of service to them. I think it's only right that they believe you over a stranger. What kind of evidence could those vipers have hidden here?
I don't know, but we cannot take the risk of it being used against us. Even if it is most probably false, we must tread carefully. The de Vespes are experts in the art of manipulation. We must ensure that these documents never get out.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions. At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy.
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the vanguard.
Here come the de Vespe ambassador and her henchmen.
Let's hide. We may hear where the documents you seek are hidden.
Damn it! It was a trap.
Move away!
Things are about to get dicey!
There are some documents, but it's not the evidence Aurelia spoke of. These documents speak of you. It appears that the De Vespe sought out information on each of you, hoping to influence you or to drive a wedge between us.
Could you read it to me? Oh, I would like to know what a bunch of renegades they may have found out about me.
This is just further proof of their deceit, and the so-called evidence got away again. Let's search these men. We may find something useful. According to this letter, the chest was given to a merchant in town who deals with the De Vespes. He was ordered to hand it to the governor if something happens to the delegation.
So that's where they put those documents you seek. If we're fast, we can get them back before the merchant learns of their deaths.
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares.
Hello. Are you Valens?
Indeed. What can I do for your lordship? Are you looking for tools for your workers? I have a large range of tools. Everything you need for mining or timber harvesting.
I have no interest in your goods. I've been sent by Her Highness, Aurelia de Vespe. She asked me to recover a chest you have in your keeping.
Of course, of course. It's stuffed between my goods in the street just behind us. I hope you tell your mistress that I obeyed her orders.
Do not worry. She will be told. Hello. Are you the guard who left me a message at the embassy?
Greetings, Your Excellency. Yes, it was me. I thought you should be warned when I saw those vermin bearing the Vespe livery.
This is indeed interesting information. Do you know if they're staying in town?
The delegation leader is always at the tavern. He drinks heavily. His men wander around town looking for trouble.
Thank you. I imagine you're expecting a reward.
No, Your Excellency, keep your money. I'll consider myself highly rewarded if you manage to put a stop to their horrible manipulative plans. My old battalion was almost completely lost to those vipers. They led us into a trap and left us to rot. So I don't know what you wish to do to them, but I wish you the best success.
Hello. I wonder if we might have a word.
De Sade, the Dorsey family's henchman. I knew it. I knew I would meet my end by accepting this mission. After what you did to Ambassador Lavoisin in Hikmet.
If the ambassador and her men had not attacked me, they would certainly still be alive. Since you know who I am, you must know why I'm here.
Yes, the document chest. But don't think you can scare me into giving it to you. I've been scared to death since I got to this town. Since I got to this island. But I will not betray them.
Calm. We never wished you harm. We only want to recover some files. They do concern us, after all. Tell us where they are. A huge weight will be lifted off your shoulders.
That's true. Does it even matter? I don't have the chest anymore. I gave it to a group of inquisitors who don't like you very much. Those fools are so furious that they'd rather die than give you the chest. And Saint Matthias is with them. So, they're hiding out in one of the warehouses around the port. If you really want to confront them, it's your own choice. But you should say a prayer first. I can't remember there being posters here last time we came.
What does it say? Oh, I can't read your language.
What is this nonsense? Another de Vespe trick. They'll truly stop at nothing. These posters could cause a full-scale riot. We must stop them from spreading around town.
As was to be expected, the crowd is getting restless. We must do something or it'll turn into a riot.
These people may have seen who stuck these papers on the wall. We should talk to them.
I knew this Constantine wasn't who he claimed to be. As for de Sade, it's clear he's not from around here.
I like our new governor, and I think the legate is rather nice. If you ask me, it's a load of lies.
Greetings, madam. Did you happen to see, by any chance, who stuck up these posters?
Oh, you are the famous legate these posters speak of. You would never tell me if it were all true. Anyway, if you want revenge against the woman who stuck 'em up, you're too late. The guards caught her in the act, and when they saw what was written on the posters, they took her to the barracks. She must be rotting away in jail now.
Thank you. And you shouldn't believe those lies.
As if you could say anything else.
Hello. I'm the bastard murderer from your posters.
Oh, Your Excellency. I'm not responsible for the content of those posters. I had no choice but to stick them up. In a sense, the guard's arrest protected me, but my partner is under lock and key and guarded by armed men who bear the de Vespe livery. They are responsible. They forced me to stick these posters up all around town. They threatened to kill my partner. If you don't stop them, they will kill him. I beg you, free him.
I believe you, and I will free your friend if I can. Do you know where the other posters are? I must destroy this nonsense before it creates a riot.
No, they only gave me one stack of them. They certainly have more, but I don't know where they're hiding the rest. The men who are holding him must know.
Very well. I have no other choice but to free him. Where is he being held?
Behind the barracks, along the docks. Please, hurry!
Thank you for freeing me from those murderers' clutches. Do you know where my friend is? She went to stick up those horrible posters.
She sent me to rescue you. She was imprisoned, but she'll probably get out soon. The presence of these men will prove that she had no intention of causing an insurrection.
Oh, you've taken a great weight off my shoulders. I was worried she'd been killed. They were such brutes.
I must destroy the rest of those posters. Do you have any idea where those men could have hidden them?
Well, they spoke of having a reserve just outside of town. In a small hut, if my memory serves me well. You should go and check.
Thank you. And try to avoid the de Vespes in the future. They're dangerous.
Move away! Things are about to
de Sade? You seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. I recovered some documents that Aurelia intended to use against us. I also brought you the wedding contract.
Let me see. Yes. A skillful blend of truths and untruths, as is to be expected. I'm afraid, however, this letter from Julia d'Orsay, Constantine's mother, is genuine. But your cousin is not to blame for his mother's folly. It caused him more harm than good, and he was but a child when his brother was killed. But the implication that he's not the prince's son is absurd. You know them both, and you know how much Constantine looks like his father. As for these documents about your mother, poor Livy would never have deceived your father. And furthermore...
It's all right. I know. I'm a native of Tir-Fredie. My real mother was a Denegad of the Seaside Nemeus clan. So in a way, all this is both true and completely false. I'm not General de Sade's son, and my mother never deceived him.
I wasn't aware you knew. It's true you were adopted, and though the adoption was somewhat irregular, in any case, I doubt that this information could truly be used against you. The revelations about Constantine are more cause for concern. But since you recovered the evidence, we needn't worry about it being used against us. Providing it's the only copy, of course.
I believe so. What do you make of the marriage contract? Is it genuine?
Well, the writing is that of a court clerk. But their handwriting all looks the same. It would be difficult to tell if it was truly written by your uncle. As for the seal, well, I'm almost certain that it is a forgery. But an excellent one at that. That being said, without the seal itself, you'd be hard-pressed to prove it. If we denounce this contract without evidence, everyone will say that it's just an excuse to get out of the wedding.
In that case, I need to find that seal. Let's hope Aurelia de Vespe has brought it with her.
I'd wager she did. She may want to use it again. If you want to find it, you'll have to get her away from her camp to have a good chance to search her belongings.
As I'm supposed to be organizing the princess's arrival, Lady Morange can surely help by sending for her. Thank you, sir.
Was there anything else you wish to ask?
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.